you see yourself as a leader?
Yep, I do. I don't aspire to leadership, but I do see myself as a leader. There's different sorts of leaders, and I'm sure there's different sorts of leaders here. One of them is obviously the military style of leadership. You will do what I say because I'm the boss, and it's sort of the hierarchy, and that's definitely not my personality, which is what I was saying before. But visionary leadership or charisma or whatever is probably more what I do, although it can infuriate people as well.
There's a lot of trust that comes with leadership, and people will probably back you because you've got the credentials now, you've got the runs on the board. People will say, well, he succeeded here, I'm not quite sure where we're going with this, but let's just go with it. Absolutely, that works. In the styles of leadership, I am not a military style leadership, so I don't run roughshod over any of them. I respect them, They know that I am more interested in their success than mine, and they know that I'm interested in them and as people, so they tolerate me. And they know that I actually don't care about the fame and the glory. I'll push them out to speak, and they understand that, and I think they stay. And then you end up with experienced teams of people who are really being productive. That leadership sort of idea, it is again, you may have this vision, but unless you keep dripping that vision out there, no one else can catch on. And that's perhaps something that you see some leaders fail at, because they say, well, we did it once, but nothing happened. Would you say that's a learning?
Absolutely. And you know what, I think people who are visionary and creative get bored quickly, so they want to go on to something else, which means the thing isn't sustained. Sustainability of any vision is a good challenge. I think sustainability of anything isn't a human characteristic. Whether you're on a diet or whether you come to a leadership seminar and you learn all about how to be visionary, all the things you do, it's pretty easy for it to fade. So sustainability of what we learn, be it, people quit smoking but then they relapse, etc. So having a vision and then sustaining it is a challenge for creative people. So I actually trying to make sure I stay on that path. Leadership is often about change. If you take over something as a leader, it's because there's something you need to do. And I think change is one of the fundamental difficulties of every human being. So we teach, so a corporation has to change, whatever the corporation is, a school, a church or anything, it has to change. And we teach medical students what we call SOC theory. So it's a fundamental theory because it overcomes the human inability to change. So, for example, let's say you're a cigarette smoker and you come to see me. This is SOC theory. SOC stands for S, O, C and K. S means you got a C, you got a problem, S. Otherwise, statistics, they all bloody lie. The smoking doesn't do any damage. O is you got to own it. If only my wife didn't nag me, or my boss didn't nag me, I wouldn't have to smoke, right? You got to own the responsibility. C, you got to change. Throw your cigarettes in the bin. And K, which is what you just said, keep at it, sustainability. You have to be willing to do all four things or nothing's going to happen. Talking to a bunch of guys over coffee, guys say, how often do you affirm your wife? Everyone's looking around, I think I did it once. So I say to me, and they'll say, oh, bugger it, I should do it more often. Me, I'm going to write it in my phone. So every month on a Monday, I'm going to say, affirm your wife. Think of something that is to say positively. I love the way you do that, Aubrey, or every week or something. So I'm
Does a little reminder come up on your phone? Think of a new one.
Absolutely, absolutely. The nomination for Western Australia of the Year was primarily around the Fathering Project. So that's given us a lot more airtime, if you like, and people have become much more aware of it. The nomination for Australian of the Year was actually about our medical research, although when I went east and ended up on all these TV shows, all they wanted to talk about was the Fathering Project, which of course is not surprising because everyone's got a dad or hasn't had one or whatever. But no, it's given a lot more profile to the work. And I saw him, it was mid-January, he was a surgeon, and I saw him, I said, oh, g'day, I thought you were down south with the family. He said, yeah, I was down there for a week or so, but I realised that every week I earn $10,000 operating, so if every week I spend down south with the family, it's costing me $10,000. And he's a great guy, he just got sucked in because he could earn money, he did. You know what I thought? I didn't say it, obviously. I felt so sad, and I thought, mate, take 3 weeks off, get liberated. I do lots of things that look really noble, but they're probably, I'm driven by the desire for meaning. I don't want people to think that I'm in some way some huge altruist, and You know, my ego is just as involved. You know, I have, of the leaders that I admire, none of them have anything to do with standing up in front of huge audiences.
Right.
Let me pick an example. Sir Edmund Hillary, brilliant mountaineer, first guy up Mount Everest, brilliant guy, comes off the mountain, and unlike a lot of people who, you know, and bless their hearts, write books, you know, and give lecture tours and stuff, he goes and sets up hospitals and schools for the Sherpa people in Nepal, and his family is still carrying that legacy on.
A lot of leaders now are looking for other things, as well as having success in leadership, in their business, in their personal life. They're looking to explore other areas. Obviously, you have got so many different focuses. Why is the philanthropy side so important to a leader today, do you think?
It's essential, I think, to having a rich golden core to your life. It's not an addition to look good. In fact, I think if it looks good on your CV, it's probably bordering on hollow again, to be honest. You know, one of the things about leadership, and I'm sure you've heard this, but it's a big deal, I think, is when you climb the ladder of success, the issue isn't how far up the ladder you are, but against which wall is your ladder resting. And then there was another possibility recently that, you know, everyone was telling me, or even all my friends, this is ideal for you, you could make a big impact. I said, it doesn't feel right for me. It's the wrong wall against which I want to rest my ladder. And of course, because I didn't do that, I've been able to do this fathering project, which I think, you know, with all the things I do, is going to have the most powerful effect on Australia. I mean, I love my research, you know, and it takes most of my time, but you know, if you can change fathers in Australia, it's the most powerful force out there to stop kids doing drugs and binge drinking and whacking people and loss of values and depression and attitude to school. So I know that that is going to have much more effect as an act of meaning than all the research I do or the patients I see. So lead it up against the right wall and then start climbing.